We are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Edu Ribeiro, and be welcome to one more drum conversation from Open Studio Drum Conversation that we do all Wednesdays, 6 p.m. East Time, 8 p.m. Brasilia time. And today we have one of the most inspiring drummers that I know in my generation, and he's from Cuba. And more than a great drummer, he's an amazing composer, an amazing arrangement. And people, please clap your hands to Dafnis Prieto. Hey, Dafnis, how are you, brother?
Thank you, Edu. I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me in this show. I really appreciate it, and it's very nice to meet you. Finally, also, we're doing it here for the first time, also. So this is very exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very exciting to me too, and you are completely welcome. And yes, it's very exciting to meet you. I hope the next time we can meet personally, okay? Because I remember I remember when you came here to play with Yaniel. That was a common friend that we have, and we have to say thank you to Yaniel too, because Yaniel put us in contact. And I was not in São Paulo, and I couldn't check that, but people told me that was an amazing show and amazing drumming, and so thank you for being here.
My pleasure, my pleasure. We had a great time when we went to São Paulo. I've been in Brazil, I think about 3 or 4 times already, in different places. We went to Rio. I've been in Rio a couple times, actually like three times already in Rio. So I've probably been in Brazil like 5 or 6 times, yes. And then we went to Brasilia, and we did stuff Bahia also, and then in Sao Paulo. I've been in Sao Paulo like 2 or 3 times too. Yes, great. That's where you live.
Yeah, I live in São Paulo. I'm from the south. I'm from Florianópolis, on the south of Brazil, but I live in São Paulo since 1992. I live in here. I came here for a study and stay here. And if you went to Bahia, nice. Are you from Cuba? You are from Cuba, yeah?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah. If you went to Bahia, you let me know if you agree with me. There is a lot of connection, and it's so similar, Salvador and Havana. You can see that the geography, the city, and the music.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing. There is a lot of similarities, because of the mixture of African culture and the European culture, and the whole architecture, but also the people. We call it criollos, right? The criollos are the ones that are kind of born out of that mix of these 2 cultures, and you can really, and the music, obviously, Brazil is one of the greatest, sources of music in the world, and I personally am very influenced by Brazilian music since I was a young fellow studying at the school and listening to music. I'm a big fan of a lot of Brazilian music in general.
Oh, thank you for that. And it's the same. It's the same for us in Brazil. More than the influence that we have about the radio, about the recordings, about everything. There is a lot of Cuban music. Not a lot, but some Cuban music came here and bring that vibe about the music, that acknowledgement that is so hard for us about the rhythm. And I love that change that the music comes that does. I remember.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I remember one album that Ivan Lins did with Iraquere. I think it was in 90s or 80s, and was the first time that I saw that connection.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. They did something similar not long ago.
I think last year they did in Montreux Jazz Festival in Rio. I went there. Right. I was playing with Milton de Holanda, and we are making the rehearsal in the same studio. And
nice.
the studio at the side was Xuxo, everybody was there.
Yeah.
And I saw that you are playing with Xuxo in trio now.
I've done a few things on and off with Chusho in long since a while back, and this is specifically something we did a couple months ago for a jazz festival in Puerto Rico that was organized by Ramon Vasquez, who's the bass player that plays on the trio, on Chusho's trio.
Okay.
So they called me up to do it because I know Shusho for a long time already, and we've been working in some. We actually will be doing hopefully next year if everything goes in a positive direction with resolving the COVID and the whole thing. Hopefully we'll go and do some touring next year and the next one too.
Oh, that's great. But that recording that I saw was separated recording. Yes, you
yes,
did at
with
home.
something we did at home.
Yeah. And how about that? Make that kind of music separated. What do you feel about that?
We as our artists, because we are very empathetic towards music sounds and the people that we work with, we try to make the best out of it. We always gonna try to make the best out of it. However, the quality of being in the same place and really interacting as music goes on, you don't have that really when it comes to this kind of recordings. Like that. So it loses that quality to me, because I like to play music that is interactive, that there is a real communication at the moment that I'm doing.
Yeah.
There is a real chemistry at that moment. And as I say, we try the best to do with the circumstances that we are now, isolating, and we always try to make the best out of it. But basically, it's the same list to me.
Yeah, you know that I was surprised at because I did a kind of recording like that with Hamilton, with the trio, with a lot of people, and that's something special because when you know the music, when you know so much the people that is playing with you.
Yeah.
Even you play with a kind of guide or guide track, you can imagine what's gonna work with these musicians and what you have to play. That is something so special to think about because and that's someone that you never played together and you don't know how to put yourself in that recording.
Yeah, I mean, there are different ways. Sometimes people you a pre-track with a click. You play to a click it makes it easier. However, it makes it more in a box kind of sound thing. But there are some stuff that is completely. There are like this performance that we did trio with Chucho. We did it with no click. So it was a lot of
following
expansion and contraction of the specific tempo, right? But
great.
I mean, as I say, I just try to do the best I can with what I have.
Oh, that was the sensation that I have when I listen you that you are doing your best all the time. So
no, but you know what I'm saying. Like we try to always, whether we do it here, whether we do it on the phone, or whether it is, by signs or symbols or whatever it is. We try to make a sound as the best we can do under those circumstances. But there is something about playing live that is very unique. It's very unique about it.
Yeah. So let me know something. You are from Cuba, and how was your influence as a drummer? What brings you to be a musician? What is what is the thing that you said? Oh, I love that. I want to play drums. I want to play piano. Or I don't know.
Right.
What is your passion with
Yeah.
that?
I when I was a kid, I was is in a neighborhood. It was very musical. It was a
Mm-hmm.
very humble neighborhood, a kind of poor neighborhood, and there was a lot of music around, and I started actually playing the guitar when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and then after
Okay.
that I picked up the bongos, and I started playing
Okay.
bongos, and then in that time from 7 to 10, I really got interested in music to the point that at 10 years old, my mom uh, brought me to the music conservatory,
Mm-hmm.
and I came in to the music conservatory, and I did and I went in the conservatory for percussion, classical percussion. That's
Okay.
the training that we get in Cuba in the conservatory there. So I did classical training for these 4 years in Santa Clara, when I am from. That's my hometown of Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
And then, yes, in the center of island of Cuba. It's right in the middle. And then I did 4 years there, and then I did another 4 years in Havana in the National School of Music.
Great.
And that's it. That was my training in terms of how to get there. And it's a classical training inside of the school. I did basically percussion, classical percussion, sets of percussion, and then later on in Havana I did also xylophone and marimba
Mm-hmm.
and timpani, which I really enjoyed too. And then
Mm-hmm.
inside of the training we had to do also complementary piano, classical piano,
Yeah.
and we do solfege, and we do theory, and we do history of music, etc. It's very based on the Western European, the European and the Russian, kind of music school.
Yeah.
But then I did the drum sets, and and the jazz and everything about that. I did it on my own. I never really had an official drum set teacher.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I'm self-taught when it comes to, yeah, like teaching, and I learn a lot, and I got a lot of inspiration. Learn a lot by seeing. I consume my teachers directly or indirectly, uh, but they are my teachers, even though they didn't give me a formal lesson on the drum
Great.
set, or in
Yeah.
composition, or in anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And for you do your arrangements and your
Yes.
compositions, you told me that you start with the guitar, but you use more the guitar, more the piano. What do you use to compose and make the arrangements?
Now I mostly use the piano. I have a piano here in my studio, and I write on the piano, and
Mm-hmm.
then I write still by hand, kind of the old-fashioned by hand, and then when I have everything kind of clear, and I have an idea or something, then I move it to the computer, and then I develop it there and arrange it there and stuff like that. But I basically write on the piano. Yeah,
Oh, great,
yeah.
great, man! That album, that big band album that you did was amazing.
Thank you.
Was so inspiring. I love that. That's so tasty and great music. Great music.
Thank
So
you.
that's a drum conversation. For me, when I saw you playing, that's something that is so so difficult. So I say, oh my God, that's amazing, and but it's beautiful. More than difficult, more than seems to it's beautiful. It's so musical, and that's the thing that we saw a lot of drummers doing the claves with the left foot and kind of that. But I always seen you playing that with your right hand, and how
Yeah.
how how do you develop that? That is so the coordination is so hard, and more than the coordination for me is you are playing something here, and you are creating different melodies, different vibes, and you do that easy. You can do that easy. There is something that you did to develop that.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental work
Mm-hmm.
behind that. It's a lot of mental work, meaning, we as musicians, we organize sound. That's the first thing. And the second thing, as drummers, is that we have to understand that independence, like the independence in your limbs, it really happens in your brain. So you have to organize the information in your brain so that you will be able to execute it. And it
Yeah.
sounds and first of all, you know about muscle memory, limbs are playing, and it happens to be a good thing. You have to go from the bottom up, meaning that you have to go really slowly, and the process of understanding how different rhythms align here and then they separate and then they come together again, and that cycle of even when like you playing different in meters, for example, right? So I think that one of the things that I did to develop that, it was a lot of mental work. And also, when I'm saying mental work, you can also um, you know simulate the sound, when you play, and you don't need a drum set to practice these things.
Yeah.
And I always advise that to my students, just do it different times of the day, many times during the day, instead of just doing 2 hours in a day and then don't think about it for the rest of the day. Because that
Great.
way, by doing it, different times of the day, is like this kind of repetition and constant reminder to your brain and to on the organization of that's where you're going. And it's almost like opening windows or doors inside your brain.
Yeah.
When they open, there is the possibility of doing it. When the door or the windows, it becomes, you know.
Yeah. I think
But
that
yeah,
the
that
internet.
I oh, it got
Go,
cut.
go. Just but I think
So
I understand that you said that is something that you are open some windows or doors in your mind every time to make it
yeah,
more
yes,
part of
yeah,
your life.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the work of working specifically in the independence of your limbs and stuff like that. Uh,
Okay.
but also musically, I always advise my students to sing everything, to
Okay.
sing everything, sing everything you play, everything you hear, sing it, and try to own that. And most importantly, one of the things that I like to tell my students a lot is that behind everything that you play, there is a character. There is
Yes.
there is an attitude to that rhythm that is as much important as the rhythm itself. So
Yeah.
you know per se you have pattern, then you have the quality of the pattern, right? So
Mhm.
you hear me well, or is going off
That
the signal?
that last part I can't hear that. You can tell it one more
Okay,
time.
I say it again. Um,
Okay.
as much important as it is to play the patterns, it's
Mm-hmm.
important to understand that each pattern that you it should carry a character, and it should carry an attitude, a sound attitude
Yes.
that
Yeah.
that that is the one that is going to bring that pattern alive. Is the character in which you play those patterns. So
Great.
I like to work on that a lot, because you can play the same pattern. You can definitely play the same pattern and
Mm-hmm.
make it, just changing the attitude and the character of it. You can make a sound
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same pattern. So that's that kind of thing. It opens up so much possibilities. When you're playing, you know.
Yes, yes.
So
And I don't know if you mind about that, but uh, could you show us on the drum set something like that about
yeah,
changing? Could you show a little about changing the character,
yeah,
changing the things, and some advice
yeah.
or some tip to start to think about that, because so you are talking that is I understand, but maybe something that we can start to think different things, and I don't know.
I show you something. Let me just play a little bit here. For example, let me just
Okay.
say that we have the swing. One of
Mm-hmm.
let's put the swing pattern, which
Yes.
it means a lot of things because there are different kind of swings and how to approach swing.
Yeah.
Um, and then let's say songo. So we have two patterns. One is in swing, and the other one is in straight
Yes.
subdivision. So I'm gonna play the same pattern
Yeah.
in swing. First of all, I'm going to play it. I'm actually going to play it here on the cymbal, so that I can keep
Yes.
the same sound for both of them. And in
Okay.
the right hand, I'm gonna play basically the same um, songo pattern. So let's say that I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's in straight, right? So now I'm going to
Yes.
play it the same. That's the songo, right? Now I'm
Yeah.
going to play the
Right.
same thing in swing.
Great. Great.
Right? So for example, if you're doing as let's say that I'm doing a song in kind of a Latin thing, I can also try to do the embellishment of the Latin
Mm-hmm.
inside of the Latin as if I'm playing swing.
Yes.
So that's a nice kind of change so that everything is not straight, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you can do like a see do the embellishment in, but then pattern is in songo, so I can you can go back and forth, and this is just the same rhythm in essence. The pattern in
Yeah.
itself, you can write it in eighth notes, and you can say this is either straight or swing, and that's what it makes the difference. So
Yeah.
anyways, that kind of approach, I think is very important because it gives the musician uh, an extra step to personalize sound and to personalize what you play.
Yes.
Besides learning, all the patterns that are more generic that people know, that we all know. I think the beauty, the extra step on that is to actually, make that information, which is information, music information, make it personal, and then make it sound like yourself, and then for you to enjoy it. I mean, we have to be the first ones that enjoy what we play, and
Yeah.
then people will enjoy it.
Yeah. 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 That's right. Yeah. And then you believe that, and people believe too. Oh, is that great?
Yeah.
So, and Daphnis, We have some comments and questions here from the audition. Let's gonna say hello for the people. And
Yes.
I'm hey people. I'm very bad with the names, but SLV says boa noite a todos. Aqui é Isilve de Montes Claros. People from Minas Gerais, São Paulo is saying that and saying hello. And PG Holiday, hi guys, huge fan. John Bailey says hello to the master, Dafnis and Edu. Thanks for doing this. Saludo especial a Dafnis, John Bailey.
John Bailey, see. It's my
Yeah.
friend, yeah.
Oh, great. And Murilo Bueno says, hi Dafnis. You are fantastic. What are some common mistakes most drummers who are not from Cuba make when trying to play Afro-Cuban Latin grooves on the drum set? Good question.
Again, I don't think it's a mistake, but it's when you playing a rhythm, as I was mentioning earlier, the rhythm comes with an attitude. It comes with a sonic value that is not written. You cannot read that. You cannot write it down. So I think it's important to what happens a lot is like you see someone from, this is just a hypothetical example, but someone from the U.S. Who can have a different culture, playing Latin rhythms and trying to approach the Latin rhythms with the same character as if you're playing funk or if you're playing something else. So that quality is what it brings a lot of times when you're on going behind, when you're learning and you're playing something. I think it's important to also go behind the intentions, the rhythmic intention of the pattern, not only to learn the pattern, but the quality of the pattern and put it in context. I think it's very important. But I think that's just it happens a lot. I mean, it could happen the other way around also, like people in other places, like in Latin America, for example, playing swing. It sounds different than many times, that because they have the culture, so they cannot kind of take away that culture and then bring the other culture. But it's just a lot of listening and a lot of understanding of the vocabulary of the specific style that you are, that you. I don't think being right or wrong these terms. Everyone should have the right, and everyone should have the right to express themselves through sounds. I mean, there are different levels of that, right? But at the end of the run, I think that the learning process, part of the learning process, is to learn the and the character of the riffs that we play, as I was talking earlier. But I don't know. I mean, for example, like playing a Latin rhythm or a Cuban rhythm, for example, and accentuating the downbeat or the backbeat or doing some kind of thing like that. But it's all in context, because as I say, the same rhythm could sound different depending who plays it.
Yeah.
That's the quality of the performance of the performer, of the musician.
Yeah, great answer, and that is something that even every styles, if every different specificities from this rhythm, you still with an accent, a different accent. And for me, a good experience that I have when some orchestras from Cuba came to Brazil and did some shows, and we used to play in a band in a nightclub that someday we played together, and I came to play with the musicians, and the first thing that you have to do is listen yourself with the musician, how it sounds, because you bring some information that you think that works for anyone, but when you start to play that, it's not that, just, but if you start to listen that and see what happened and see what you can do, I think that's a good way to don't do mistakes, not mistakes, of course,
Right.
but to try to participate of this
Yeah,
this conversation.
Listening is very important, and that's what I'm saying, learning how to adapt and get closer to that character of whatever is happening,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Great answer. Thank you for the answer, and thank you, Murilo, for your question. And Daniel says hello from Brazil. Gabriel Mora, saludo desde Chile. Gracias, maestros. Sí, se me coloca acá, me hablo a falar espanhol un poquitito. John Maury says, hey,
sí,
Dafnis.
también.
John Maury says, hey, Dafnis, what are some Brazilian rhythms or intentions we can add when we play Afro-Cuban styles?
Anyone. It's not. It's not.
Anyone.
This is not about. It's not about. It's about and reaction of things. For example, um, if I play Brazilian music, if a Brazilian, like Edu, probably if I play something Brazilian, depending who I'm playing with, and depending, because there are different. This is the important thing, is to know how to do the same thing differently.
Yeah.
The more choices you have, and the more options and the different ways that you have of doing something, then you can adapt easier, right? So,
Yeah.
like if you listen to me, you probably think, yeah, he's playing the pattern, but it's not fully Brazilian, as you will hear Brazilian and the same. But that's completely it's a take on it. We have to really be understand that we are humans playing something.
Yeah.
Application of something. There are certain things that are very valuable, and there are certain things that start becoming monotonous, and start becoming generic, in a way of is away from you as a person, right? So I like to, for example, let me just give you, this is a crazy example that I like,
please,
that,
please.
that I like to do a lot, when I'm doing like a solo drum performances and stuff like that. So I'm going to actually play, I'm going to play the samba, kind of the
Yeah.
on the bass drum, and the hi-hat. And then I'm going to do a little bit of that, and I'm going to abandon that rhythm on my hands. I'm going to abandon the rhythm, and I'm going to superimpose a different pulse and a different tempo.
Great.
Like playing Brazil, and then I'm going to play like a wawanko and then songo on top of it in a different tempo.
Great.
Okay?
Great.
So, here we go. Hey.
Oh man,
Did you hear?
that was a shame that the internet makes some cuts, but was amazing, man.
I can do it again. I do it again. Okay.
Oh, please.
Let me do it again. So let's say that I have the samba, and then I'm gonna keep the samba thing, and on top of it, I'm kind of going to levitate in a way with a different pattern. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more, maybe a little bit more focus in a way,
Okay.
right? So.
Wow. Now we pray for the internet gods, and you couldn't see, we can't see that. Amazing, amazing, man. Amazing. And
Thank you.
I have to ask you, when you do that, is there any subdivision or mathematic thing that you have the control, or you are just thinking a different pose?
Yes, I'm just going to what I mentioned. The idea of the Brazilian samba on the bottom of it with my feet, and then superimposing a new tempo with a new rhythm, completely different. It's a kind of having two countries at the same time.
And at the same point, you almost left to listen one of them and back to the other, the first one.
Yeah, and I do it a lot with different rhythm, different variations. I can do swing on top of it. You can do like a New Orleans thing. You can do anything.
That is so hard to do. You play that? You keep that. Every time you find some connection with I'm not dubbing. I'm not. I'm playing the halftime. I will practice that. Today I will leave my dinner and I stay here to practicing that thing. Amazing. And because that was something
So
that that was something that I was prepared to ask you, because I have the sensation that sometimes you do different things, not so free as that, but superpositions. Is that the word? You put some groove, some groove on top of. Please teach me the English, the English word.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And superimposition. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And but I have the sensation that you do that for the musicians in your big band too, and you can write that, and you can. And
Of
but
course.
in-
It's all
in thi-
connected.
yeah, but in this time you have a kind of mathematic thing, or you can do that with the whole band too.
No, I can. I mean, when it's with the band, it depends. You can do it both ways. You can do it freely with a big band, where they can watch me or they can listen to me. I go after me to go in a like a more rubato kind of thing on top of a steady, or we can do it really more mathematical. It's just an approach. It can be valid either way. You know.
Wow, man, that is so.
If
That
I do,
is so.
yeah,
Please,
like if I
please.
do so if I do something like this, if I do something like that's more
Wow.
that's more precise.
Yeah,
Right?
that's more
But-
mathematic.
Yeah, but because this is kind of in the triplets, superimposition of the triplet, chaka cha cha chaka cha cha chaka cha, on top of
Yeah.
it, chika taka chika taka chika taka chaka taka chaka ta chaka
Yeah.
taka ta taka.
Yeah.
All right. So, but that's like, but what I was doing before is not that.
It's not that. It's
I show you. I'm gonna do it a little bit. So for example, let's do
Wow.
It's different, you know. It's different approach.
Man, that's
You can
beautiful. That's
do
beautiful.
both. You can do both, you know.
Oh man, great, great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And one more
Pleasure.
question here from Jeff
Mhm.
Savariego. Yes. Hi, Daphnis. I just want to sincerely thank you for sharing your invaluable knowledge and experience with us. Big fan of your drumming and your original music.
Thank you,
And
Jeff.
I will take his thankful, and I want to ask you. I saw some students from you and doing some very hard
Uh-huh.
rhythm exercise in a in a standard, maybe a blues or
Yeah,
I can remember.
yeah. This is part of my book. It's part of my the second book.
Part of your second book.
Yeah.
Okay, and where are you teaching and what do you teach in are you teaching in some university and where are you teaching now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I teach in the University of Miami. Frost. It's called the Frost School of Music, and I teach there
Frost.
at the University of Miami. Frost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you live in Miami?
I live north of Miami. Yeah, in Hollywood. Yes.
Ah, great, great.
Yeah.
And please tell us about your books. I know that you just
Yeah.
you have a new book. Um,
Mhm. Yeah,
how is
I
it?
have I
Please.
have a new and my first book is entitled A World of Rhythmic Possibilities, and that's it's a book, you know, for drummers and, you know, basically lovers of rhythms. It says a lot in the independence, but it's also it's technical, but it's also analytical. It's very
Mhm.
analytical in terms of analyzing how you're gonna get to that technical ability to be able to play some stuff. Also, and philosophical in a way of talking about the process of you know, creativity and involving also you know, different possibilities. It's called A World of Rhythm Possibilities because, you know, different rhythms from different angles. So there are different chapters. There are like 12 chapters. It's a thick book, like 275 pages.
Wow,
Is the first book.
wow.
The second book, the second book is called Rhythmic Synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
That second book I'm also teaching at the Frost School of Music at the University of Miami,
Mm-hmm.
and I teach in that as part of a course. It's called Rhythmic Synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
That I developed there. This is non-drummers to improve their and their rhythmic ability of playing, because it's very
Great.
important to also you know, develop the non-drummers and non-percussionist musicians to be able to play synchronize to
Yeah.
synchronize rhythmically with drummers and rhythm session. You know, it's very important too.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of those exercises, and that example that you were mentioning is specifically an exercise in the third level already. This is the last level. It's the third
Okay.
level of the book, um, and in the third level, we're going to do in different. Basically, we work a lot in independence by singing and clapping, which is very
Okay.
similar to what I do with my drummers, also with my drummer students.
Mm-hmm.
That example, it was example of singing one of the melody of the song Footprints.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that, and then you have the bass line. Pom, 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 pa, pom, pom, pom. So, and then you have this sequence. It's a sequence of 6 bars in triplets that you have to learn by memory, and then put on top of that
Of the melody.
of the melody, and that's part of the examples, that video that you saw, and there and that's, you know, one of the many examples that there are there. Another example is like clapping the clave in 4 while singing different kind of odd meters.
Okay.
Like in 5 and 7 and 3 and 9 and etc. And that there are exercises there to do it in triplets and to do it in duplet subdivision, right? So
Yeah.
I can actually sing something for you, and for example,
Oh, please.
if I'm gonna clap the clave,
Mm-hmm.
and this example I'm going to just in 5. So the first half of this cycle is going to be in duplet subdivision, so in 16 subdivision, and the second half of it is going to be in triplets, and this is all in 5, and the clave is 4. So I'm gonna clap the clave first, and then I'm gonna do the odd meter 5, 2, 3. So tan tanch tan tanch tan tanch tan tanch tan tanch tan tanch. So let me just do it, and then people can see it again or something, right?
Okay.
So you hear that?
Yeah.
Tan 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 ta tan 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 boom.
Wow. That's very very good, man.
Thank you. So anyways, I mean, some students, they're better than others in terms of natural instincts and approach to rhythm, and at the end of the course, everyone is able to do or many of the exercises, and that's the importance of it is to really be able to experience it, to go through, because even though you don't master it at that moment, then that stays with you forever. And then one day, maybe in a few years, you think, oh, how was that exercise 5? And then, waiting for something in a corner, or waiting for a friend in a bar or a restaurant or something, you try it. And then you have an idea, and that becomes probably a composition.
Yeah.
So it's, it's a chain of knowledge, is a chain of things,
Yeah.
of events.
Yeah. Great. I am excited to check this book.
Yeah.
And just one more time, could you say that is the rhythmic synchronicity?
Yeah. If you give me 2 seconds, I go and I show it to you.
Please.
Let me show it to you. Hold on.
Please.
Yes.
Man, that so in this time I will try to do that. It's so hard. Oh, I was practicing.
Yeah, I know. I heard you. That was good. That's a good start right there, Edu. So this is the book, the second book. This is the book for non-drummers. It's called Rhythmic Synchronicity. You see?
Great.
Yeah. So this is the book that everyone can my website is the only place you're gonna get it, on my website, and we personally send it. So
Great.
And then the other book, this is the other book. Let me just do this for a second and show you the cover of the other book. This is the cover of the other book, so that people can visualize it.
Yes.
This is the other book. It's called A World of Rhythmic Possibilities.
World of Rhythm Possibilities. Man, I have to check it now.
Yeah. So, anyways. But that's that for the books.
Congratulations for the books and for
this
incredible stuff, man.
Thank you,
amazing.
man. Appreciate it. It's a lot of work.
So yeah, I can imagine that.
Uh,
But good work. Thank you for do that. Thank you for doing that.
my pleasure.
Oh, and we have more people here. Cuban music, Brazilian music are like sisters of different flavors. Yes, I agree
Uh-huh.
with John Bailey. John Murray, whoa, he sets feet and then leaves the room. Yeah. What do you recommend to listen to me? Okay, we have a question here from Gabriel Mora. Hi, Master. Thanks for the opportunity. What do you recommend listening to or analyzing to get closer to the language of the Cuban rhythm, or if there is a particular rhythms exercise for that?
You know, yes, you can listen. Well, first of all, I will recommend you to listen to any band that plays rumba. Rumba is a style of music in Cuba. It's very particular characteristics, and there are three major forms inside of that remix style. One is called guaguancó, which is one of my favorites, and I play it a lot on the drum set.
Yeah.
Guaguancó, and then there is Columbia also. Columbia is in triplets with a 6/8 cowbell pattern, and I like that one too. And then we have Jambu, which is a slower tempo. Um, uh, that the rumba style is to me kind of the bottom of what became after so many other different genres, such as song, the genre of song, and you know there are great bands in like bands that play rumba. For example, you have Muñequitos de Matanzas. You
Muy
also have and then you have also Yoruba and Dabo. You have
Yo-
Yoruba and Dabo.
Yoruba.
Yoruba and Dabo.
I think Daphnis, you said Muñequitos de Matanza, but the second one, the internet goes down, and
Yeah,
we
okay.
can
Afro
you can repeat
Afro-Cuba. Afro-Cuba de Matanzas.
Afro-Cuba de Matanzas.
De Matanzas. Yeah, Matanzas is a province in Cuba,
Great.
close to Havana. And then you know there are many more. There are so many different bands and great bands like play rumba in Cuba, and they play it. You know, each of them they have their own kind of signature. They have their own
Yeah.
way of doing it, personal. So
Yeah.
you know, and then
Yeah.
you have the song, which is the style became kind of the most popular also um, in Cuba, and song is the style that just became like what we call now as salsa, or what we call now
Yeah.
as timba, because
Mhm.
at the beginning of that song it was branched into many other different styles, right?
Yeah.
um, and then you have styles, styles like the danzón. For example, danzón is a great style.
That's
It's
beautiful.
Yeah, danzón is a very Cuban style. It's actually influenced. Yeah, it's influenced by the French that came in Cuba through the dance and the contra dance that came
Okay.
from France. Um, and then you have, man, in Cuba is so much to talk about rhythms and culture, and so much. I mean, you have the rhythms like Mozambique,
Mhm.
have all the rhythms of songo that were, mainly developed by Jose Luis Quintana, Changuito. He developed so
Yes.
much of those. There is actually a chapter in my book, A World of Rhythmic Possibilities, dedicated to Changuito, and I
Mhm.
have inside of that book a lot of his variations to the songo, and then the second part of that chapter is just my personal variations to the songo. So I call it Dafnis songo.
Great.
And anyways, there is so much in terms of music, and it's just a lot, and then you have obviously the very earlier styles that came to Cuba through Africa, which is all the religious music, but also the non-religious music also
Yeah.
that came from Africa, from different places in Africa.
Great. Great.
A lot.
Great, man. Great. That's a lot of things to check. I love the dance song rhythm style. Sometime came to Brazil a piano player from Cuba, Hernan Lopes Lusa. Hernan Lopes Nusa. And I have the fortune to play with him in a trio. Man, that music's amazing. He did a lot of arrangements. I remember so fresh in a arrangement for Tintindel in Danson. That was beautiful. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, and Dafnis, we have Andres Camilo Cadenha. Dafnis, great job. You are on the best from Cuba. Inácio Henrique Plas, Julio Barreto El Negro. God bless Cuban drummers. I love the Cuban drummers, man. Thank you for the music that you are doing. And Dafnis, please, we are almost in the end of that. Tell for us what you can expect from you. What your new projects from after the pandemic times? Are you planning something? There is some music coming.
Right now, this month in October, it just came out my newest record with sextet. It's not sextet. I mean, it's called it's called Transparency.
Transparency.
Like transparent.
Transparencia.
And Transparencia. You can all listen to it, in Spotify and any other platforms. They are all, it's all around, and I hope you enjoy. This is the newest thing that is out there is the Transparency with the sextet, and it's all my music, and it's fun.
It's a sextet. Where is the combo? Is drums, piano, bass, and the horns?
2 saxophones and a trumpet.
Oh, great! Transparency, people. Transparency in Spotify, Apple Music.
Yes.
Anyone. Hey, Dafnis. We can stay all the day here, but we have to go forward, and I have to practice that special things that you.
Let me know when you do it, Edu. When you do it, when you feel good with it, send me a small clip of you doing it. I would love to check it out.
I will do that. Give me my money. Let me a moment.
And then and the next time, when I go to Brazil, you can teach me some Brazilian stuff too. I would love to learn.
Oh man, it's gonna be so easy to you. Yeah, we can stay 3 minutes doing that. That is enough for you. It's so easy.
It's always so much to learn. But thank you.
Yeah. It's always so much to learn. Anything, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel, we have a special advisement for today. Maybe no. Live stream special gets 7% off Edu's Brazilian Jazz German course with coupon Edu. I love that. The code is Edu. Code Edu. I love that. 7% special discount for my course and
70.
open 17. Yes.
70.
thank you for that. I'm doing a
Sure.
bad promotion.
You're good, man. You do good.
Oh man, but Dafnis, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your acknowledgement with us. And please say some good words for to people that are listening us
Yes,
now.
well, I wish you all the best. I wish always peace, inspiration, and make your life worth by doing something you really love doing. Whatever that is, it's very important to do that because life goes by and you want to really feel at the end of the run that you've done something that was meaningful to you in your life. Something meaningful is very important, and stay safe,
Yeah.
and with all this pandemic crazy, but we're gonna get out of it hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. But
Yeah.
thank you for joining us, and thank you, Edu, for
Oh.
the invitation. Okay.
Thank you, Daphnis. Thank you so much. Thank you, people, for being here. Thank you, Rachel, Peter, Martin, Dan, Adam, everybody from Open Studio. See you guys in the next Wednesday, ok? Abraço para todos. Tchau.
Abrazos.
Tchau.
Bye.